Hey guys, it's me Zippy, and today we're celebrating the reason for the season. Okay, but today I want to do kind of a different video. So in this video, I want you to first start off by thinking about how much has this little gadget changed your life. And I know there's a lot of reasons why. There's a lot of things it has done to change your very life and your very existence. But what is one way that you can see in your everyday life this has always come up and changed it, and you change how you interact with your friends, change how you interact with your coworkers, even your, I don't know, just even a stranger, just how does it change even your personal relationships and connections? And think about that. Don't sleep on it, because I have to tell you something that I need you to know, which is a list of the 15 biggest social media apps in 2020. And this is from the website dreamgrow.com. And I liked how it said 15 because there were some lists that had 7 and nothing had 10. I don't know why. But some lists had like 7 for the most part. And I found that kind of limiting because there was just a few like big ones. You know what I mean? The big ones are really the top 7 ones. But I found it to be limiting because there were so many other ones, a lot of international ones that I know that were kind of left out, and some other ones that kind of maybe you wouldn't think at first they're social media, but I don't know, like it just kind of, I think the list needs to be a lot bigger. And so I'm gonna start with the top top ones to go to the bottom ones, like the most users to the least users, basically. And I kind of got the idea for this video because I was thinking about like, oh my gosh, I watched this video where it's like, oh, Facebook, social media didn't really start coming into, like, wasn't really like a thing, honestly, until this century. Um, it wasn't really something we knew about or that existed until Facebook came up in 2004, and MySpace came up too. And then eventually, it wasn't really until this past decade that social media was like even a maybe like even a colloquial term you'd use. Like it was really just those two apps, I guess you could say, that were really huge. But until like the 2010s, around this area, is when it really took off and rose exponentially. And suddenly, everyone had phones, which made it a lot easier, and everyone had um, reason to use their phone. And one of the big reasons was to make friends, contact friends, whatever. But it changes our lives because we have these so many apps we can share with people who are all across the world, and it has definitely led to globalization because now we can know what someone in Thailand is doing and someone in Germany, and I can just be here somewhere in Australia or something like that. Like, it's just how crazy it's transformed our lives. So I want to show you guys kind of, so maybe the next generations kind of know, like, oh, these are the big apps. Maybe you'll think some are defunct nowadays, or some of them are still here. Wow, they're so successful. Or maybe you'll think, well, some of these apps, kind of interesting. But let me tell you a little bit about them so you get to know. So, our first one is Facebook, obviously, and it has two, I don't know this number. um, I don't know what number this is. It's a number, a big number. I'm not gonna name the users because you can already tell that Facebook has the most users, so end of story. Um, but Facebook is the biggest app. And by the way, for all these apps, I have an account. I have an account since like forever ago. I've always had an account for all of these since I was young, even. You know what I mean? Gen Z starts early. So Facebook is an app in which you can basically just started the whole social media. Let's be honest with ourselves. It started social media as we know it. We have things you can do like on the wall. So, like I was saying, Facebook has the most users, and you can do things like post on a wall. You can see all your friends that you have. You can basically do anything you can do on a social media app. Now they have Facebook stories, so you can post like a story, just like a short little. I mean, Snapchat started this, and then Instagram took it, then Facebook took it because Facebook owns Instagram. But you can post this kind of like 24-hour kind of like post that shows up on your account, and so it expires, it disappears after 24 hours. But it's like a little, maybe like a message, a little photo of what you're doing at the moment, things like that. Just kind of like the thing that's like temporary. Maybe you don't want it to be on your account forever, like permanently, but it's just like maybe like a thing of like, oh, this is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm kind of into right now at the moment. So a lot of apps kind of have that now. They took it from each other, and so Facebook, you can do a lot on it. Honestly, you can go on and on about things you can do. You can also play games on it. And yeah, what else? You can basically, I think it's the hugest thing is posting, just posting anything. You can post text, like a just a message or whatever. What you're thinking, you can post anything like a link to an article to share with people, and a video, yeah, maybe your own video, share a picture, obviously. So it's definitely something that you can do a lot with, and that has a lot of functions. So it's not like one thing you can do on it. There's a bunch of things you can do. So next one is YouTube, obviously, which is what I'm using right now. YouTube is, I've had YouTube for a long time, of course, and posting videos. End of story, right? Posting videos. Unlike Facebook is like being in touch with your friends. YouTube is probably being in touch, not being in touch, but like being part of the community, the creator community, I guess, and sharing videos with others. Maybe they're not your friends, but sharing a video with anything. I mean, anyone. So you can do it public, everyone gets to see it. Unlisted, those with the link can see it. Or you can do it private, so only you can see it. Maybe you can show your friends or your family, things like that, people you want to see. And then this is our top 3. We have Instagram, which has a bunch of users. I've had Instagram for a long time, and it's basically a place to post pictures. So that's where it started. It kind of, is it just pictures now, I guess you could say? It's like text posts, it's memes, it's this. Everyone has their own kind of different use for Instagram. Obviously, you post a picture of something, but it doesn't have to be like of yourself, which it used to be, I guess, mostly of. It used to be like maybe yourself, a landscape, tourist attraction, but now you can post anything you want. Obviously, there are some guidelines, but you can post anything you want on Instagram. People kind of twist it their own ways. People post their art too. So it's that kind of thing. And it's still popular. Of course, it's probably the most talked about app I've heard this year, but there is one that's actually even bigger that I've heard about more, which I'll get to later. And then you also have Qzone, which I don't know what that is, but it's on here. I guess it's like an international kind of site. You have Weibo, which I use as well. It's a Chinese app, and it's basically just you can do a lot on it. Honestly, I want to call it like a Chinese Facebook, I guess. I haven't been there in a long time, but it's basically just a lot you can do on Weibo. Share pictures, share text posts. So I think of it as Facebook in a lot of ways. Also, Weibo has like it has like news stories too, I think. So it's like kind of connected to like this like a kind of like a sort like a, I'm not gonna say news site, but like I don't know. It's kind of like a lot of things you can do. Dare I say more than Facebook, but it's pretty expansive, and obviously you can see who your friends are, and you can change your account settings, things like that. So it's pretty cool. Then we have Twitter, which I use, but I don't really care much for. And Twitter is basically a place where you post. Started off basically posting your thoughts, so less than 420 characters. I think 420, right? And then after that, you can also post like links, videos nowadays. But the heart of it, the root of it, is really in your words. So that's the biggest theme. Then we have Reddit, which I use. I actually love Reddit too. I love Reddit. We have Reddit communities called subreddits. So subreddits are these places that are a community of Reddit. So it's like within Reddit you have these communities. Like you have like an art community, K-pop community, Africa community. You know what I mean? Like this, that isn't their names, but it's like r backslash and the name of the community. So like r backslash shower thoughts, which is like a thoughts of what you could have in a shower, I guess. It's not like what it is, but it's like, kind of like life pondering questions. There's also more. like r backslash K-pop is obviously just about K-pop. So it's like it makes it kind of like a tight knit community in a literal sense. So you basically talk about things that are close to you, other people who enjoy those same things. And so also there's like r backslash history, talk about history. It can be as vague as that, or it can be as niche as whatever you want to be. There's honestly a community for everything, no lie. And so basically what they post, you have like moderators, you have bots, which kind of are like automatic. You have a bunch of things you can do on Reddit, which is kind of like posting, like someone posts something and you can reply to that post. Like it's like this kind of like, what's it called? Oh my gosh. Someone posts a post, I guess you can say. And then what they do is usually it can gain like traction, and it can be like on the trending side or the, whatever side. And then people end up going ahead and replying to that post. Maybe it's a question, maybe it's a thought, maybe it's something that is kind of controversial, or something that's kind of like, I wonder, you know what I mean? People post their answers, their reactions, their thoughts to it, and it becomes kind of like this whole kind of thing, because people then, to those thoughts, they post their own thoughts, or those questions, they post their own thoughts, or those answers, they post their own questions, kind of like that kind of thing. So it's like a post within a post, and you also have a post within a post, and a post within a post, and like, you know what I mean? Like it's called a reply, basically. So it can go on forever. Some posts get locked after a while, so you can't reply to them anymore. And to reply to posts, you have to also be a member, which is just on a user, so you just literally have to make an account. And so that's what happens. So honestly, there's a community for everyone out there. You can also upvote things. You can upvote things, or you can downvote things. So you start with, if you post something, you start with one upvote. That's what I found out. And then downvoting, it takes away the votes, but upvoting adds votes. So the more upvoted it is, the more prominent the post is. Like if it's like a comment, then the more upvotes it has, like 4.2 thousand upvotes, which is actually very easy to attain. I've seen it before. You're at the top of the reply list, you know what I mean? And then below that are the less upvoted ones. So then it goes down from there on. At the bottom of the page, which I think is really hard to get to, you'll find like maybe like one upvote. So it's like that kind of scale. As to the most upvoted post, usually like the most featured on Reddit, whether it be the homepage or just on that community. So the most upvotes, the most popular it is. I talked a lot about that. And you have Pinterest, which is kind of like this. So Pinterest is the community where you can, what is Pinterest? I think of it as like a lot of links. whenever I search an image on Google, I get a lot of like Pinterest links, and they tell me, oh, you have to be signed in. And I already have an account, but it doesn't care. So it's kind of just like this, sign in to see more, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like a bunch of, I think it started off as more like a, I haven't been on it in a long time. I don't use my account. Like a DIY. So Pinterest, like, it's kind of like started out like a woman's kind of not based, but woman kind of focused kind of social media app. So it's like geared towards women. I think of it as like a DIY. Post your DIY creations, post your like ideas of how to do this, and creativity, arts and crafts, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like kind of just like maybe just kind of like almost like Etsy. We're not selling anything, you're just kind of like creating it and posting like links to it. Now it's really posting like links to things. Also artists like posting links to like art, or posting their art, and I haven't used them forever, but it's basically like that. And it's just like there's like a board, you have a board, and you can pin things, like pin other people's posts to your board, so it gives you like inspiration. So it's a Pinterest board. And so like for weddings, I heard people like do like that too. They get like ideas like, oh, this is a nice dress, when someone like kind of posted something about like a dress, an image of a dress, I'm gonna pin that. Or like a flower bouquet, I'm gonna pin that. probably not a ring, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. A bridesmaid's dress, you know what I mean? Um, the little flower that goes somewhere on your wrist, like that kind of thing. Like, I mean, like kind of like ideas. Oh, like, oh, this is how the a wedding, the church I want to go to, or this is kind of like the landscape I want for my background, for my wedding. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like people just kind of like have also like ideas for themselves, whether it be like a wedding, honeymoon. It doesn't have to be like romantic either way, but just like whatever you want. Kind of just like give you like ideas, inspiration, and you post it on your board so you can go back to it later and kind of say, oh, this is kind of my ideas. This is what I'm kind of going for. So then you have Ask FM. Oh my goodness, Ask FM. I started using that a long time ago. Oh wow. Oh, I didn't know it's Latvian. I just pressed the wrong button and took me to the Wikipedia page. That was weird. Um, Ask FM is just like ask honestly what it sounds like to you. It said question and answer page. So there's basically a site where you have your profile and you have people on there and you have yourself. So for people on there, you can ask them questions and they can respond to you. You can do it anonymously too, so they don't know, but ask a question, you know what I mean? Obviously appropriate question, and then they can choose whether to respond to you, and then they respond to you and say, okay, this is what this is my answer. Like, oh, what is your favorite superhero movie? Oh, I like Spider-Man because he's just cool and he's like a cool guy like me. So then that was loud. That kind of thing, and then also for yourself though, people ask questions to you. So when it comes to you on your page, people ask you questions, likewise, and you respond to them. But also you can also choose questions that AskFM gives you. So AskFM can give you like these kind of simple questions, and you can kind of respond to them. That's what I basically did my entire time doing because not my entire time. That's what I did on AskFM because I had no one following me. I had no one. I didn't know, my friends didn't even know what it was. So I just responded to questions they gave me. It's kind of like personalized, intimate way. Some celebrities have been on it, asking responding to fans' questions. Um, People are like, oh, you can do that on Twitter. You can do that on like other sites. I mean, yeah, you can, but this is the goal of Ask Them. Is just only geared towards asking questions and responding with answers and kind of like building that intimate connection with fans or with friends. And I mean, people get to know you better. Also, sometimes it gets confusing with celebrities because there's also like fake accounts. People try to be the people try to be that celebrity, and it's hard to find out if they're real, if they're not. I mean, yeah. And you have Tumblr. Tumblr is a community. I think I've always like as artists, you know what I mean. That's not what it is, but it kind of to me always took out as like a community of like artists. People post their art online. More so than like Pinterest, by the way. Pinterest is wasn't really about like art, but people post their artwork, and you have a post right on some like in your like kind of like your wall, your page, and you can customize your page. It's basically like your own kind of personal kind of site because it's like Tumblr, basically like your own blog. You know what I mean? The point of it is everyone has their own kind of blog, without the whole like thing of like, oh, I'm making a website, I'm getting a domain, writing the HTML code. Like it's your own blog, you know what I mean? But it's on a site filled with other people's blogs as well. So in a way, it's kind of like a community of blogs. I've said community so many times. Anyway, Tumblr is a place where you can post your artwork, or whatever else you want to do, anything creative. I think of it as usually just a creative place. A lot of people do that. A lot of people who feel like they're maybe like marginalized like to go on that site. I mean, people who like they have like kind of like a safe space, I guess, you know what I mean? People who feel like they have a people of community of friends, so you'll see that happen a lot. A lot of anime, sorry, not anime, manga. I love manga, so don't get me wrong. And yeah, I think you can post anything though. You can post text, you can post pictures, you can post videos, you can post links to other sites. You know what I mean? So I think it's become also there's like a lot of bronies, which are these bronies are men who like My Little Pony, which I think is just why it's called the Bronies. I guess bros and ponies together. Um, so they have a big site on there. Not a big site. They have a big like following on Tumblr. And so basically that's how it is. And but on Tumblr, there also some not good parts on Tumblr, to be honest. And they're having some trouble right now with getting back people to join the site because there's people who post inappropriate stuff on that site. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. But anyway, Tumblr is a place where you can share whatever you want, and your blog is yours, so you can customize it, make like background color different, make your icon different, change the font, change whatever. Just make it yours, personalize it, you know what I mean, and post whatever you want. So it's really just your creation. You can change it up, change whatever you want up. And yeah, and a lot of people make friends on that site too, because it's a community of friends, people who also have interested like you do. So you'll see a lot of the same people like in the same circles, you know what I mean? Whether it be K-pop, anime, bronies. Moving on, we have Flickr. Oh my goodness, I've used Flickr forever. Flickr is a website for pictures. So you post pictures on the website. I think I'm right because I haven't gone in there like in really 2 years. But last time I think I checked, it was like, a website where you post pictures and kind of, I almost want to say like almost for yourself. That's not like Instagram where it's like you're sharing with everyone, but pictures, and usually they're kind of like pictures that kind of like better than Instagram, like kind of like pictures that like are kind of professional. I feel like kind of a little bit like above your your usual casual picture photograph. A little bit more better, a little bit more advanced. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think it's basically it's a photography website. Um, then we have Google Plus, which I thought was defunct. I thought I got a message saying that like we're not using it anymore because of security concerns, things like that. I think that's what happened. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But apparently, according to the site from April 9th, 2020, it's still on. So Google Plus, is it really on though? I'm sorry, but that's just kind of weird to me. Yes, it's no longer available. Yeah, guys, so this is kind of interesting because, yeah, it's not as you can see. Can you see that? No, because of the light. It doesn't work. Okay, but anyway, it's not available for personal, consumer, and brand accounts because, what? I don't know. There's a reason why. I thought it was security concerns. But it happened in April 2019. I remember seeing that happen. I mean, the notification. So this, I guess it's not too outdated, but like the website, I guess, might have found out. I mean, the website posted it before this happened, so it's not a big thing. The Google Place was a place, basically had your, it's kind of like a place where you had, I didn't use it really a lot, but you could post pictures on there, almost like, not like Facebook, but it's almost like kind of like maybe like kind of maybe selling yourself, like a huge little snippet into you, and just kind of a community, not community. I thought very personalized. I didn't think there was any community there, honestly, but mostly what happened to me is I put information in about myself, you know what I mean? Post pictures of myself. That's all I remember doing. But I think most of it is geared toward brands, not really personal accounts. Mostly it's more towards brands, in my opinion. And making the brand, you can have like a link for, oh, this is my Google Plus account, you know what I mean? If you're like into that, if you're like a brand, almost like kind of like almost like a LinkedIn and Facebook crossover. And like you have information about yourself, not too like, personal like Instagram or Snapchat. It's like, oh, I love doing this. I love listening to reggae, and I like, you know what I mean, all this, and I'm super into season 4 Batman. No, it's just kind of different. It's more, I feel like, more strict and professional because it's Google Plus. It's kind of like, you know what I mean. It's just something that's gonna be like a work kind of thing, maybe. Branding yourself. So, but it's not like LinkedIn where it's like, oh, let me list your resume, your CV, where you worked. Maybe, I mean, you can do that, but it's not that like that. I mean, LinkedIn is there for that, so it's not like that pressurizing or that, you know, much, but it's kind of like a medium between Facebook and yeah, LinkedIn. And you have your other accounts like YouTube and Gmail, so kind of has some information from there. Kind of like, makes up your whole account as a Google account. And you have LinkedIn. Oh, how nice is that? LinkedIn is basically this website for people who are smart. Okay, so no, you're a professional. You're a professional. So people who are on LinkedIn, they're professionals. There are people who may be looking for a job. So if like a job usually asks, not usually, but sometimes you can ask for like your LinkedIn profile, like a link to that. I've seen that oftentimes. We ask for that. Kind of just like a way to see like a snippet into like, oh, your professional profile. You know what I mean, online. See if you're being truthful. And just kind of like know that you're kind of serious. I guess I don't know. But it's for people who are working. I think even students, cause they have an option to write student too. But basically, you have like a CV, a resume for the most part. It's the same thing. You have a CV. You're maybe applying for jobs. It's a good place to have a LinkedIn. You're an employer. You're an employee, but a professional. Business, IT, teaching, whatever. Kind of just like something that's kind of like really. And also, you also have people who are connected with you on LinkedIn. So it's almost like a community of people, of professionals. Obviously, it's not like I'm gonna share with you some quotes and some, pictures of my recent holiday. You know what I mean? It's not like that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you pictures of, my favorite, concert the other day. No, it's just professional. To be honest, if there's pictures, it's pictures of yourself, literally, your profile picture. That's basically about it. It's mostly information about your work experience, your school education, things like that. So it's really professional. So the last two we have, and I have an account for all of these. I told you I have an account for all of these, including Google Plus. Obviously, if you have a Google account for YouTube or Gmail, you already have a Google Plus account. It's up to you if you want to use it or customize it. Obviously, it's dead now. It's defunct, so it doesn't matter. I have an account for all of these except for Qzone, VK. It's like a Nordic one. Odnoklassniki, and Meetup. So those four I've never heard of in my life, to be honest. But they sound to be like they have a lot of users. Although Qzone and Meetup kind of looks like they got like dashed out. Oh, Qzone is Chinese. Okay, it's kind of weird because they got like a dashed out. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? They're still active, so I don't know. But Meetup, I just took a peek at it, and it looks like a literally like Meetup, like discovering events that for all the things you love. You can't see it, but that's what it is. Okay, this phone has something about Meetup, so anyway, there are two apps on here that aren't listed, but I really want to tell you guys about them because it's important to know about these two apps, especially if you're a Gen Zer. So the biggest apps right now are the two biggest for teenagers, young people, young adults, whatever you can call it, what you like. Are I'm putting this phone down. They are sorry, Snapchat and TikTok. So Snapchat is an app where you can basically, it's pretty new compared to other apps, but it's an app where you can it's really just a disappearing kind of thing. So you have friends. The biggest thing about Snapchat is making friends, not making them, but like kind of if you have a friend, okay, what's a Snapchat? You know what I mean? You have a Snapchat code. It's kind of like this kind of QR code kind of thing going on here. But it's like a ghost, a yellow ghost, a white ghost with like a yellow background. And so you can like use your phone on the Snapchat app. You can go ahead and like take it with the camera on the camera in Snapchat. You can take it and then kind of place it so you can scan that code, and then boom, you have a friend, and you got a friend. You know what I mean? And so the more friends you have, the more people who see your stories. As I said before, stories are these 24-hour disappearing, temporary kind of moments in your life. What am I eating right now? where did I go to the movies? Oh, wow, so important. So you can post that, and just basically it's just there for a short while. You can delete it anytime if you want to. So your friend, you can see how many people saw it. Your friends, people have like a lot of friends, like hundreds of friends, and so you can see how many people saw it. Your friends, people also react to your stories. They can like send you a message to your story, or I mean about your story. They can give you like emoji, like, oh, like like smiley face or a thumbs up. You know what I mean? So like if it's like, oh, I had a smoothie at Jamba Juice, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Yummy, yummy emoji. I don't know. Smoothie emoji. Things like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a short term kind of thing, but you also have within Snapchat. Is the posting not posting is basically just that friends. You have all your friends on here. Each of your friends are there. The most friends you talk to, the friends you talk to are at the top. The least you talk to are the ones you haven't even talked to at all. Like you haven't started a conversation with them. It's just like gray at the bottom because someone has to say hi. You know what I mean? Maybe you got like a friend, but y'all don't even know each other. You know what I mean? But you got said, oh, can I have your Snapchat? Okay. We all didn't start a conversation with each other. So at the bottom, at the top is your friends, and sometimes with those friends you have streaks. Streaks are these things that you have back and forth messaging. It can be very simple, just even like a one word or one letter. People try to maintain streaks though. Streaks are just very kind of they can go for a long time. And in high school people were into streaks and maintaining them because it's like, oh, we chat every day kind of thing. Um we chat every day, but now it's become more of like you send a picture of someone with the word streaks under with the word streaks. So you have a picture of yourself or whatever, I mean, care. Maybe like on a black screen, you put your hand over the camera and you draw streaks in red letters, and then you send it to them, and so they send the same thing back to you, and it's like, oh, that's it, as of today, streaks. Because Snapchat picks every single day. Okay, you both sent each other a message. Okay, that's one day. The next day, same team. Okay, that's two. That's two streaks, and then three streaks, then four. You know what I mean? So each day your number of streaks increases until you get to like 5, maybe like a fire emoji, like, ooh, good job, guys. Then 10, and then people do even 100. And obviously, that's 100 is like even the benchmark. It's a lot more than that nowadays. It's huge. So now it's super big, and you can have streaks for like a year and over a year, 2 years. And I mean, and people try to really maintain streaks because they like to go ahead and have their phone on them every time. And if they miss streaks, it feels so bad for them. It's like I'm letting my friend down. I'm letting my friend down. And streaks does not provide any reward to you. It's very psychological. It doesn't provide any reward to you besides the fact that it just says streaks on Snapchat. There's no money. There's no gift. Nothing like that. Snapchat doesn't give you those kind of things. All it does is just go ahead and give you satisfaction of knowing, oh, I have streaks with my friend for like 40 days, and now I'm gonna keep going until like day 100. That's how it is. Usually people have a goal. People go over that goal. Be like, oh, a new goal. So it's that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But streaks can be not even like a message. It's not even like a message anymore. People get frustrated. It's like, oh, so I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. It's just even like one like very simple picture of streaks, and then send oh, a picture of streaks. That's it. It's very kind of, I don't know, just people I mean, I can go on and on. People also really work really hard to maintain streaks. They can be in the hospital and they're like, oh, I need Snapchat because my streaks. You know what I mean? Oh, my phone's dying, but I need to do streaks. Oh, I'm in a car crash. I need to do streaks. But anyway, that's Snapchat for you. And you have also Snapchat and Bitmoji teamed up. So Bitmoji is the same company that made Bitstrips, which is a thing that happened, which was a company that was founded in 2006, I believe. 2006 is when it was founded. You can make these kind of comic strips with these characters, customize them, make them look good, make your own comic strip, things like that. So that was Bitstrips. Now it's defunct, but Bitstrips kind of became Bitmoji, And Bitmoji teamed up with Snapchat. And Snapchat now, every Snapchat profile, you can have a Bitmoji. And so Bitmoji is basically like your avatar, your character. It's how you appear to everyone else. You don't have to have it, but it's kind of like this cool little thing. They have Bitmoji. You need the Bitmoji app. It's separate. But the Bitmoji app is basically just your character just in it up. You have a character, but you can also change it, update it every time. So Christmas time comes around. Oh, here's some Christmas outfits. Like here's a Santa Claus hat, or here's like some elf shoes. You know what I mean? Oh, Halloween comes around. Oh, there's like a costume. Oh, Easter comes around. Oh, Easter bunny costume. Just kind of changing your look every time the season comes around and a holiday comes around. It changes, things like that. So it's tied to your Snapchat account. So when you update that, it's updated on your Snapchat so people can see it. It's just a little kind of thing that I guess is fun for people. But the biggest thing in Snapchat is just having conversations with your friends. And the good thing is that they disappear. So honestly, people use it because it disappears. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna message you and you message me and it stays there forever. No, it doesn't happen like that. You can choose to save the message. The thing about Snapchat is so sneaky because you can message your friends back and forth, right? Whatever friend you have, message back and forth. It's all never saved. It's all next time you put the message, it's gone. So you don't even know where it went. You better remember what you wrote, what they said. But what happens is that you have an option to save it. But also I might say don't save a conversation like that. You know what I mean? So you can save it if you want to, but I mean, if you really need to, I guess. You know what I mean? Some people don't like that. It's kind of uncomfortable for them. It defeats the purpose of Snapchat messages, which disappear on their own. Also, you have people who take snaps. If you take a screenshot also on Snapchat, like maybe talking to someone, you might like maybe like sneaky, or maybe want to be kind of fun. Take a screenshot. They know. So if you want to take a screenshot to like out them, expose them, well, they're gonna find out about it. So it alerts you, which actually I like, because it kind of lets you know that what we're talking to is very trustworthy. Trustworthy. And so if you take a screenshot, boom, they already know about it. They already know that you took a screenshot. So it's like, okay, why'd you do that? Moving on. Last app is TikTok. TikTok came off of, okay, so what I want to kind of look at this. You have Vine, and you had Musical.ly, you had TikTok. TikTok is where you have videos of yourself. And it's like it's evolved over time, right? From Vine to Musical.ly to TikTok. TikTok is where you have videos of yourself. I don't know how I don't use TikTok. I mean, I guess I have an account. I don't know. I have an account for Snapchat. I had an account for Vine. I had an account for Musical.ly. TikTok, I don't have an account for that though. I don't think I'll ever care to do that either. TikTok though, it has these short videos, so it's like a certain amount of time you have. Post a video of yourself. A lot of it is like lip syncing. I want to see the music because Vine was like these short, how many minutes? 10-second videos of yourself. Kind of mostly it was Vine was just like very comical. It was very much hot in 2014, 2015. It was really popular. I remember using it. I loved it, and it came. Like, there's like a lot of Vine compilation on YouTube. You can watch Vine compilation. That's what Vine. If you didn't know what Vine was, that's what Vine was. It's very. I find Vine the best out of Musical.ly and TikTok. I don't care for, but Vine I found it very fun. It was super funny, super comical. A lot of people who are like kind of comedians, I guess. I don't know, like trying to be comedians, made their videos there. People became known for Vine. People became social media influencers, I guess, because of Vine. Jacob Sartorius, King Bach, Gabby Hanna. They made a bunch of Vine videos, so they became known for that. And so Vine was just so funny, you know what I mean? A lot of it was just comedy, and I loved it, and a lot of memes that came from Vine. But it died when it was bought by Twitter. So sad. People are still sad about that. When Musical.ly came about, and Musical.ly kind of almost came to kind of like almost replace Vine, I guess. It was the purpose of Musical.ly, but it was like kind of like maybe acting like it kind of replaced Vine in a way. But now it was more lip syncing to music. So you had a song playing in the background, you choose a song, and then you had to, you know what I mean, you had to lip sync to it. So you better know that song better. But You also could dance to it, you know, pretend you're singing to it, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny, but post-production, it looks like you're actually singing the song, so it looks very real. But that's what happens. Some people also just sing their own songs. They wouldn't even use maybe they wouldn't even use the lip syncing. They just sing their own song. But things like that. So that's how the Musical.ly stars came from that. People who became musically famous. And a lot of Vine stars tried shifting to Musical.ly, but it's kind of hard. It's different. Some Vine stars wanted to use Musical.ly as a Vine 2.0, but many of them also went to YouTube after that. So a lot of them went to YouTube, and they've been doing a lot more successful on YouTube than they have Musical.ly, I think. But Musical.ly, mostly music, as I can tell you, it's music. But then Musical.ly died. So then you had TikTok. Now TikTok is when we have. I bet TikTok is gonna die soon too. We'll have another version of something about along the lines of TikTok and Musical.ly and Vine. It's a never-ending cycle, I guess. TikTok is different though than the other two. It's a combination of a bunch of things. You can lip sync to songs. You can dance to songs. You can sing to songs. You can also do comedy like you could do in Vine. You can also do funny things. You can also just show off your talents or whatever. A lot of it is dancing and singing, but you can do whatever you want. You can just people post videos of short clips of even like baking, um making a house, just kind of not I would say maybe short, but maybe just like a lot of speed up kind of videos. It's one of those things you can just like you have a video. Oh, you can scroll up. I mean, scroll up. Oh, another video's here, another video, and then you can like it. I mean, like you can heart it. You can go up again. You heart it. You know what I mean? You can leave like what I mean. And a lot of people see it because it's just like it's a revolving. It's like just a bunch of videos that show up, and the biggest ones, most popular ones, obviously show up first. And you can also search for videos you want to see. So maybe you want to see like maybe baking videos. Oh, search baking videos. Just someone making a cupcake, you know what I mean, in 10 seconds or something like that. Oh, I want to see videos of like maybe art. Okay, someone's making a painting with these cool rainbow colors, and it's really sped up, but it looks so beautiful. Things like that. And I've seen a lot on Instagram too, but I think TikTok really tries to make it kind of theirs, I guess. Um, and a lot of people who are there, a lot of teenagers obviously love TikTok. Um, and it's like now the new craze. Even more than Instagram, even more than Snapchat. I've heard it more so than any other app this year. TikTok is all the rage. TikTok. I can't talk. TikTok is all the rage this year in 2020. But yeah, that's what it is, guys. So, um, if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to react in the comments below. And that's my video for you guys. But if I were to rank the hottest apps right now, I say TikTok because you can do a lot on it. Most people are getting paid a lot too because people get noticed on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? People get noticed on TikTok. There's a girl who was seen on TikTok, and then she got signed to Ariana Grande's label. That's what I heard about. That's what I read about. So people even sing and they have talents on there. Not saying that everyone is just kind of like joking around. People also try to expose themselves, and also they have the gifts. You know what I mean? So it's a lot you can do on that app. But definitely that's number one app. Number two, Instagram or Snapchat. Instagram. Number three, Snapchat. For Gen Zers. That's what I'm gonna say for Gen Z. Everyone else already in the list I told you. Okay. So see you guys and have a Merry Christmas.